Hello and welcome back to the Infinite Edge podcast, sponsored by InfiniteEdgeHealthWellness.com. My name, as always, is Todd. I haven't changed it yet, don't worry. And I'm here with Nate, and we also have Jeremy. And we're on to episode 9. Episode 9, we'll be talking about getting started, is what we named this one. And it's going to be talking about turning kind of motivations into more of a discipline or good habits. Keep in mind as we do these casts, as of right now, none of us are medical professionals. I don't think that'll ever happen. So this is all opinion based and research. Oh, Nate might be a medical
It
professional soon.
might.
We'll let you know if it happens though. Nobody cares about your motivation. Now, as I say that, I'm being facetious. Obviously, we do care. Motivation's a good thing as well. But the main thing we want to tell you is motivation, at least as to us or to me mostly, is it's just a start. Motivation is just a start to get you to the gym or to eating healthy. But you have to turn your motivations into discipline and or even maybe a better thing, a positive habit, right? So we have plenty of negative habits. Let's start building positive habits as well. So now I'd like to discuss 8 ways to form habits, and this is per Psychology Today. The first one they said was be proactive, take initiative to improve yourself. To me, I'm guessing to you as well, that means the motivation part. That's the initiative to get started, right? You can't just wait for it. It's not going to happen naturally. It's not going to happen on its own accidentally most of the time. Number 2, begin with the end in mind. Think long term.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people they get these real like a short term lens kind of thing going on, and they go for the immediate gratification instead of thinking about what their habits are going to do for them long term. They're still playing a game they don't want to play, but they're not teeing themselves up to get the life they want.
And I would say as you build to a long term goal and you're thinking long term, set those small term, more easily seeable goals as you build to that longer term goal. Number 3, they have first things first, prioritize.
See, that one I think is where a lot of people get hung up, myself included. That's why I'm speaking on this one. So I get hung up between 2 and 3, right? So I look at the end goal and say, this is where I want to be. And then all those first things, first steps get a lot more challenging for me. So I have to get kind of a very small picture for the end goal and then do the first things first in line to get what I need to get to. So that tends to be where one of my hangups is going, oh, here's the goal. Let's just get there. Not here's the goal. Here, and here to get here. So that's that. Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, it's just like what we're working with my 10-year-old right now, right? It's here's your final goal, clean the room. Okay, well there's 10 steps to cleaning the room, right? And you got to hit those 10 steps or the main step. It won't be successful. Number 4, they have seek first to understand, then be to understood. That to me means, I have to make sure I fully understand what I'm trying to do before I can convey it to someone else. Because if I don't know what's going on with me, I can't tell Nate, hey, here's what I'm doing. Do you understand this? Of course he doesn't. I don't understand it. Anybody else have any reaction to that?
Get curious. That's what that means to me. I look back on that exact when we were talking about the coping mechanisms. I think that really the that thirst for understanding at an internal level has to come first with anything in terms of progressing us towards goals, because you're not going to know what habits to set if you don't know your own internal state first.
Agreed, agreed.
Correct.
Number 5, according to Psychology Today, they said was never miss a habit twice in a row. Again, we're building habits out of these motivations. So if you're going to miss something twice in a row, it's easier to slip out of it, whether it's eating healthy, going to the gym. They always say it's okay to have cheat days, but it's never cheat days in a row. You can have the one a week or one every couple weeks or something, but you don't want to
Yeah.
start a bad habit by missing things multiple times.
Correct.
Uh, Number 6 is make it satisfying and reward yourself.
Yeah. Well, you gotta, and that might be as simple as finding the little win in what you've been doing. Like, here's the habit. Here's what it is. Hey, cool. I've reached this goal in doing it. I think that's a hard one for me. Is to
I think that one's a hard one for me because I reward myself with dumb stuff that isn't in line with my goals. Like, yeah, oh yeah,
how
I did great. Let's have half of a pizza. Oh
Maybe stick
no.
to a slice.
half. That's it. Come on, kill the whole pizza. If you're gonna do it, do it. No, that's terrible advice. But
I
no,
think
yeah, you're
finding healthy rewards is probably a good thing to add in there.
Yeah, go have some
correct.
froyo.
Right.
Right.
Number 7 here that they have is stick to a sustainable pace. Don't burn yourself out. I think for me this is a big one because I'm a binge person. Whether it's binge watching, binge eating, binge going to the gym, binge being a grumpy ass. I mean, all this stuff I do in life it seems to be binge. So for me,
Or
I have to pace myself.
we call that ADHD hyperfocus, and yeah,
All the time.
all the time. I got this right now, and then you just do it, and you burn yourself out, and that's why some of us that struggle with ADHD, I know I do. I don't know if Nate does or not. Have about 8,000 projects or hobbies or things that we started that we were super passionate about. I got this. I got this. This is awesome. And then you do it so hard and so fast and so much that all of a sudden it burns out, and then you can't get rid of those things because I loved it at one point. I liked it at one point. This is what I wanted to do. I put a lot of effort into it here, and I can't find the motivation to do it.
Yep.
Because we put too fast of a pace on it and hyper focus on it instead of setting a sustainable pace to grow, build, finish the project, and continue on.
I've got 4 incomplete college degrees for that exact same bad habit.
That's why we're here to form good ones, right?
That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Lastly, they have attach new habits to old ones to make them easier. Me and Nate kind of talked about this last week when we unfortunately had technical difficulties and wasn't able to complete this. We spoke about, if I'm going to the gym religiously, right? I've started going 5 or 6 days a week or whatever you need to. Then I can incorporate or attach the new habit of I'm going to start eating healthy, so I can see more out of my gym time. Because obviously a lot of stuff with your physical health will come down to diet, especially once you get a little older. Just going to the gym's not going to be enough.
And kind of breaking it down to the lowest level, even like one thing that helped me in building that routine back up was just getting to the gym. I didn't set, I need to do 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I need to walk in the door because I know if I walk in the door, I'm at least there. I'm in the environment. And then it starts with, 20 minutes that turns into 40 minutes, turns into an hour and a half and whatever. And then I'm at the gym forever. But neither here nor there. So starting with the very lowest level of building that one habit and attaching more to it later, plant a seed, making it grow kind of thing. Really
That's exactly how I am, especially in direct regards to the gym. Get there, right? Once I'm there, I'll do something. I'm not just gonna show up and not. But if I get there, I'm gonna do something. And even if it means that, you know what, I don't have the motivation to do a whole lot of anything, and I just walk on the elliptical for 25 minutes. Guess what? I did something, and I went and I did the habit. So
Don't forget to get your sauna time.
I don't have one of those at my gym.
Ah,
You
I got tanning. I got tanning beds, but that's not my thing.
I mean, there's other benefits there as well. I mean,
I know, but I go spend 4 minutes in a tanning bed. I come out the same color as Nate's shirt.
yeah.
It's not good for the very, very pale
Lobster Jeremy.
guy. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's bad. It's bad. For someone who loves sunshine as much as I do, sunshine does not like me very much.
funny. Oh yeah.
Again, that was 8 ways to form habits per Psychology Today.
Yeah, in the end, the only thing that matters is the actions we take. I mean, everything. We can panic, have anxiety, we can have depression, we can have enjoyment, we can have excitement, we can have dreams, but without action, that stuff is really nothing. So, our actions are really the root of anything that we become. So, getting these habits put in place is super important. Rather than looking at getting started as motivations or discipline, even, I try to get a little deeper into the root of the actual biology of what our body is doing, and what our body is naturally inclined to do for us to actually take action. There's a few chemicals in the brain that are involved in that. One being dopamine, which a lot of people know. It's very, very heavily associated with a whole lot of different things: addiction, happiness, and it's essentially drive. Dopamine is drive. It's getting us to move towards something. Typically feels very pleasant. One of the others is serotonin. Serotonin is more inhibitory. It's gonna make you feel calm, but it's also gonna let you know that you're moving in the right direction. So it's a little bit along that whole reward side of things as well. And then norepinephrine, adrenaline, same difference. That's going to be the thing that's going to get you up and get you moving. So you don't just have drive and dreams, you've got some motion happening. And I try to pull all that stuff together to make things a little more actionable. Our brain is like a chemical soup of all this stuff. And we got to get curious, try to figure out ways that we can leverage this stuff. And I tend to think of it as two different separate categories of whether am I stimulated or am I inhibited? Is it inhibition? Is it stimulation? Am I moving? Like, am I stuck in my seat because I'm having heart pounding kind of thing? Or am I stuck in my seat because I'm just too calm and don't have energy? So there's different things that we can do to leverage those different three neurotransmitters, particularly. I don't know. Do you guys familiar with any sort of ways that you can use anything? If it's, I don't know, diet, exercise, sleep. I mean, any sort of habits that you guys know of, actions that you can take to leverage this stuff to get started?
I know for me personally, a lot of it for me is drinking water helps me a lot. I'm not sure
Yeah,
which one of those that fires up, but that helps me, get more active in general. And
yeah,
then the action, the activity part really helps me sleep. So if I don't do anything all day, I'm not sleeping at night. So
yeah, yeah. Those are two super great points because water essentially helps everything because all these chemicals are in this chemical soup. Well, we're mostly water. So you need to have that to be able to carry that stuff all around your body. So water is a great thing to mention, and exercise and movement helps us clear the excess stuff out of our brain so that we're not overstimulated and we can't sleep. So that's very helpful. So trying to think about it as stimulated versus inhibited, and then you can try to use different things like uh, when you eat or when you exercise. Maybe you do a few push-ups to get yourself some adrenaline pumping and get yourself in motion so you can do something that maybe you don't want to do quite so much.
Yes. Yeah, I see. And see, for me, I do a lot more. I'm a lot more external with the things that will bump those. I do to get myself stimulated and moving. If I've got someone I'm doing it with, I'm ready to roll.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. And that's why I preach a lot and I say it a lot all the time is lean on your people. Lean on your friends, your relatives, your whoever, right? Because especially for me, if I got something I need to get done, finding the motivation when I'm by myself to do it and get that boost, it's hard. I can do it through my own ways of doing it, but when you have somebody that's going to help boost you there, um, man, it changes the whole perspective, at least for me, because it's like, okay, they're going, they're with me, let's go. Doesn't matter how tired I am, how worn out I am, how bad I don't want to go. Guess what? I'm going because it is a mutual thing and they give that motivation.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's funny. Three things that happen when we're around people that our tribe, our people, our family, click, three things happen. One, we do get a boost in serotonin, so you're going to feel calmer. You're going to be able to think through your thoughts a little better. You're going to have an increase in dopamine, so you're going to be more driven towards whatever you guys are as a group doing. And something that's really interesting is that our breaths actually synchronize when we're around people. And I mean, it's like all the rage for everybody talking about different forms of breathing. I mean, I don't know that I've ever been to a single therapist that hasn't been the first thing they tell me in dealing with something is how to breathe. So that's something else that it does, though. You're around your crew and you guys synchronize your breaths and everybody calms each other down. So it's a good thing. If we're understimulated, we can exercise. We can use music to pick us up, get out into the sunlight, change our eating schedule a little bit. If we're feeling overstimulated, we can also exercise, listen to music to calm us down, and maybe lower the amount of visual stimulus, less lights. Obviously, timing of light and food and stuff is important, but use your senses to your advantage to increase or decrease stimulus.
So kind of going off what you said, and I don't remember if this was a Jordan Peterson thing, and I think that's his name, right? Jordan Peterson.
And
Uh,
one of the people, yes.
yeah, I don't know if it was him that said that it's good to get up every day and kind of trick your brain. Whether it's, I always start shaving the same way every day, so, I'm going to start with this hand and do the other side. But it just tricks your brain to kind of help you wake up, you know what I mean? To help you get going. I don't remember if it's him.
Little
I know it was on Rogan's podcast, but I
thing.
think it was Peterson.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little habit. I know the biggest thing for me is light. I have timed Bluetooth lighting that just kicks all the lights on in my room and insanely bright. So I try to do that, and then I get up and I walk around my entire apartment. I turn on every light in the apartment. That's one of the first things that I do, and then I start my other routines from there. But I've never heard of that in doing something different. So I wonder if intentionally doing something like brain work, maybe a crossword puzzle or something, I wonder if that would have a similar effect where you're doing something that makes you think first thing in the morning. Interesting. Something to think about.
That
Yeah, I
is
don't know.
interesting. I don't see that me functioning that well because I don't function that well in the morning, but it definitely would be.
I can't do it.
No, I'd be sitting there going, it'd be do a crossword puzzle. 3-letter word for canine. Uh,
Hey, but
I need.
even though you said that jokingly, because obviously you're a smart guy and you understand dog, right? But even
Right,
saying that, the point is, even as we try to better ourselves, we have to know ourselves at the same time.
right.
So we have to know
Oh,
what we're
absolutely.
capable of,
Yep.
and then exceed it to a point. Because obviously we are more
Correct.
capable than what we're going to give ourselves credit for. But
Right.
I, w-
No, I completely agree. But I mean, and like I say, always, lean on your people. Find somebody to help you do it. And when you're looking for these motivations and things that do, your friends probably have really good insight. Your friends and your family, your spouse, they probably have really good insight into what helps you motivate. Hey, you do so much better when you get out in the sunshine with your cup of coffee in the morning. And sit down and ask them, when do I seem the most motivated? What have you seen? And they may say, I'm not sure. Well, cool. Watch me for the next 2 weeks, right? And then get back to me. Because they may pick up on all of those little things and be like, when you get up and the first thing you do is sit down on the floor and throw the ball for your dog, all of a sudden you're doing better. Your day's better. So if you can, they help, and they help with our mental health. And always check in with your people. Like I say, every week.
they're also getting very good with them segues. And I know it ruins a segue when you talk about a segue, but as we are growing together mentally and physically through this podcast with everyone else, we are growing with our podcast skills as well. So I'd like to shout that out as you're
Absolutely.
improving, as we're improving.
Right.
Every
I-
week, we also like to dive into our little small business area. So, as we are a small business, we would like to promote other small businesses as well, as they also, in return, normally do the favor for us, which we appreciate.
Laser
Obviously,
bakes.
what'd you say?
I said laser bakes.
Yeah, Laser Bakes. That's Blakely Hollinger's on Facebook. Go on Laser Bakes. check out all the different decorative things he can make, even plausible stuff like cup holders and everything else. You don't want your little drink stains on your table. Hollinger can help you out with that with laser bakes. Also, if you like sports, me and Nate are going to have another podcast coming out eventually here soon as I start to build it. But for now, you obviously can go check out the Subtle Flex podcast. My friend Fred LaFeo runs that. I am on it quite a bit. It's all opinionated, obviously. It's very entertaining, I think, as, it gets a little argumentative at times, which it's a sports conversation. A lot of times that happens. Also, if you're into homemade stuff for like shirts and stuff for your kids, whether it be onesies and stuff like that, go on Facebook and there's the Bees Knees Handmade. And they, like I said, they specialize in shirts and cups and stuff like that. And, we here at Infinite Edge Health and Wellness, we do nutritional supplements, right? But that's not for everyone. Some people like the more holistic remedies, right? And if you do, and you're from Indiana, live in Indiana, there is Sage and Stone. And on February 10th in Columbia City, they will be doing an event they call Mystic Market. Jeremy is friends with the owner. He said it is very well ran, very good people. So please feel free if you're in Indiana. You're bored on February 10th maybe. Is that a Saturday? I think it's the Saturday before the Super Bowl.
Saturday.
So you might need to they might have something holistic for your Monday hangover after the Super Bowl. They might be able to help you out. That way you don't miss
100%. They absolutely will. It's a cool little store, little completely local sourced. She runs a good ship. So
That's great. That's great. Also, just like every week, we tell you the same thing. Not just with Jeremy's call to action, where we want to check on your mental health, but we want you to push your limits. We talked about it a lot this time. We want you to know your limits, but exceed them a little bit because we think you can do it, and you got to have the confidence to do that. Also, we'll be back here next week as we'll have another podcast, right? Infinite Edge Podcast, and we'll feel free to comment on here, on YouTube, Facebook, X. Did you get unbanned from TikTok yet, Naughty Boy?
So it's working on my computer. Why it doesn't work on my phone, I have no idea. But
Okay.
It is working on my computer.
So maybe we'll have some TikTok soon.
Absolutely.
And what else? I feel like I missed something in the rambling here of what else we got. Instagram, not yet. No, we're not posting on Insta. Maybe once we start getting some supplements, we'll take people scooping and hitting the gym or something. But yeah, visit us on all those different sources and visit our shop, please. InfiniteEdgeHealthWellness.com. Get your supplements today. We're a growing business. We're going to continually have new stuff and add more stuff once we really get up and going real good. And we appreciate you all. We hope to see you back next week. See you guys later.